Hello and welcome back to another reading vlog in which I try and read down my TBR. I started this project out with over 300 books and now my total is 225, so we are making great progress. Check out all of my previous vlogs, they're all linked in a playlist, but that way you can see how we've gotten here. But yes, it is a new week, a bit of an odd week. I'm actually starting this vlog a day late, but my job has been a bit hectic. I've talked about that in the previous vlogs, but yeah, a bit hectic. Things are very interesting at this other store that I'm at for another 2 weeks, but yeah, not much reading has been happening lately, but let me tell you what I am currently reading. So for my physical book, I'm reading Jane Eyre. This is a classic. I'm almost 80 pages through this one. I've been reading this one for a while now, and I feel like since I have the day off, I just need to sit here and like dedicate a lot of time to this book to actually make more progress through it. So I might do that today. There are reading sprints that are happening, so I might just read this while doing reading sprints today. The audiobook that I'm listening to is Honey and Spice, and I'm about 40% of the way through this one. And then my ebook that I'm currently reading is Get It Out, and I'm about 15% of the way through this one. So those are the 3 books that I'm currently reading. Again, this week is going to be a little weird in that I sort of have a few different things planned for this week, besides working full-time, so I'm not sure how much reading I will get done. I do hope to at least finish the audiobook. I do have about a 30-minute drive now, so that's about an hour of audiobook listening time that I have in the car for every day that I go to work. So I'm hoping that that will help me make a lot of progress through that audiobook. But yeah, definitely gonna be an odd week vlog-wise. I know last week's vlog was very short, and I'm going to try and make sure this one is not as short and actually has more content in it, but we will just see how that goes. If anything, I might make this one into a 2-week-long vlog, just so that there's actually more going on, more progress happening in each video, but we shall just see. And yeah, I am going to get ready for those sprints. They start in about 20 minutes, so I'm just going to do the things that I need to do around the house, and then I will just have a few hours of doing reading sprints and reading Jane Eyre, and I will probably come back and update you after that and tell you how my progress is going. Also, this morning I did get my nails done. They're this pretty green color. Yeah, I like to show off my nails in every video, so yep, that was that, but I will see you in the next clip. Hello, here is my little update. So there was just a 45-minute sprint that happened, and I did read Jane Eyre for the entirety of the sprint, and I read about 67 pages, so I'm very happy with that. I made a lot of progress. I'm almost 150 pages into the book now, and now that I'm like so far into it, it is reading a lot easier because I am more in the flow of the story and with like the writing style of it. But yeah, I'm very happy with that progress, and I did just want to come on here and give that little update. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Hello, so I was correct in my last little update, or I guess technically the beginning of this vlog, in that this week I would not really be vlogging or have time to really vlog anything, and that was a very correct assumption on my part because it is now almost the end of the following week. So yes, this vlog is going to be a combined 2 weeks, which is fine. I have finished some stuff actually. I have 3 books to talk to you about, so I will get to that in a moment. But yesterday I did go somewhere fun and new, and that is a new bookstore. So I took a little trip to Orlando, and that was a very long drive. We hit all of the traffic getting there and all of the traffic getting out. It was not a very fun time for pretty much just a 20-minute appointment that my mom had, and then I went to a bookstore. So yes, I want to talk about my little bookstore haul. So I went to the New Romantics. This is a romance-only bookstore in Orlando. It's Taylor Swift themed, which was very fun. I'm not really a Swiftie, however, I did get a lot of the references, like in the name of the store, and like they have like the whole wall of like romance tropes, and I'll have like a picture of it and like Taylor Swift inspired stuff. And it was just so much fun and so cute, and I did get some stuff, so let me show you what I got. So first I got a little shirt while I was there that has the name of the bookstore, and on the back it's like the front of the store. And I just really like getting t-shirts from places that I visit. It's something that my mom had always done throughout my whole life, so I sort of also took that up of just getting a t-shirt to represent all the places that I visit. And I saw this there, and it's pink and it's adorable, so I had to get it. And they also had these little annotation kits there, which I thought were adorable, and I did need some new tabs, and I love the color of these highlighters, so that kind of sold me on it. But it also has a bookmark, some tea, and some stickers, so I will show you all what's in here. Okay, so starting off with why I bought this kit in the first place, and that is these beautiful colored tabs and these really adorable highlighters. So this is a light purple and a light pink highlighter, which are two colors that I don't have. I have a dark purple and I have like a neon pink highlighter. So I just really love these colors and I really wanted them. And I always go through tabs really quickly, and I specifically love like these darker toned colors in it, so that is mainly what drew me to purchasing this annotation kit. But let me show you the rest. So it came with this cute little cat bookmark, which I think is absolutely adorable, and I will probably end up having on my walls. I put a lot of my favorite bookmarks, or bookmarks that I think that are cute, on my walls because I just like that aesthetic, I guess. But I do think this is one that I will hang up. And then it came with this mango passion fruit tea. I'm not too big of a tea drinker, but this is not a flavor I have tried yet, so I'm willing to give it a go. And I do really love mango flavored drinks, so I'm excited to give this one a try. And then it came with 3 stickers. So this one is Kisses in Every Pages, which is just really cute. This Inclusive Books Will Change the World sticker, and then this Mafia Lovers Book Club sticker. So those are the 3 stickers that I got. I think they're so adorable and such a fun inclusion to it. But that was the annotation kit. Now let me talk about the book that I bought. So I did go ahead and get the special edition of Beach Read by Emily Henry. I absolutely loved this book when I read it, and I'll be honest, I did forget that I had a copy of it already. So in my mind, when I was making this decision, I was thinking of it more as, I don't own the book, I might as well spend the extra money to get a special edition of it. But it did turn out that I already own the physical book. I, for some reason in my head, thought I owned the physical copy of People We Meet on Vacation. I do not. But either way, I am still really in love with this special edition, and the sprayed edges, I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. I probably would not have purchased it if I knew I already had a copy of this book, but I can't say I'm too regretful because it is just an absolutely stunning book, and it's very pretty. It makes me very happy to have a copy of it, so, you know, it is what it is, but I think that's more on me for going there more on a whim and not really having a plan of what I wanted to get when I was going there. But yes, at least this is not adding a book to my TBR because I have already read this. So that does not change my numbers in any way, which is really good. But yes, that was my purchase there. Overall, as someone who loves reading romance, it is a bookstore that I would love to visit again if it was not such a long drive, and also Orlando traffic is just something else. It is so busy. But yeah, it was such a cute little place and I would definitely visit it again. But that is my little haul. So now let's go on to talking about the books that I finished last week and this week. And I guess I'll also give you my numbers. I'll probably also give you those numbers again at the end of this week. I'm not sure if there will really be another vlog clip after this one, just due to how my schedule is going to be, but there might. So who knows? We will see what ends up happening, but I will still give you those numbers now so you know where we are sort of at the end of last week. But yeah, let's talk about those books first. So I did finally finish Jane Eyre. I did have like a clip of it where I was reading it like 45 minutes at a time. I was really trying to finish this book because I had been reading it for so long and I knew I just need to take the time to sit down and focus and I guess sort of force myself to read this book, and I have finished it. I do sort of know my own like quips with the reading classics. I'm definitely not someone who enjoys reading classics. This is a very good book for what it is. It is definitely a very dramatic book. I have seen people talk about the mystery in this book and the romance, and the mystery, first of all, I don't really like mystery books to begin with, but this mystery, it wasn't really a mystery. There was no mystery to it. As for the romance, having an 19-year-old get with a like 40-year-old, interesting decision. Not really into the age gap. It's not romantic. I don't think this book is trying to be romantic in any way. However, there was nothing else to this book besides the romance. Yeah, I understand this book as a whole and why it's like so critically acclaimed, why it's held up as a classic. I just didn't care about anything that happened in this book, truly. I did give it a 2.5 stars. For my like personal enjoyment, it would be more of a 2-star, but because I understand sort of why this book has been so prolific through all of these years, I did give it like that extra 0.5 star rating, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know how to talk about this one because I truly just did not care. But I guess I get it, I guess I don't know. Either way, I have finally finished this one and I have checked off one of my goals, which was to read some classics this year. Technically my goal was to read 12, but that's just not going to happen. But I did read at least one this year, which makes me very happy, and it does get another book off of my top 100 books scratch-off poster, so I also am very proud of that. I also finished listening to the audiobook of Honey and Spice, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. This book was going to be a 5-star read for like the entirety of the book until the very end. That whole third act breakup and the way it was sort of resolved, I wasn't the biggest fan of. It kind of happened too quickly for me, a little too unrealistic, I guess. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. However, I do think this is one of the cutest romances and like fake dating books that I've read recently. I've sort of like had enough of the whole like fake dating trope, but this one I really enjoyed. And yeah, I would say this kind of romance book is sort of on par with Emily Henry in that it's very much like a, not necessarily a slow burn, but it's more of a just normal contemporary book with a heavy focus on the romance. The romance is just like a ginormous part of this book in that romance and love and relationships is what both of these main characters are focusing on during their college experience, their experience with each other. They both have like their creative endeavors that surround relationships in one way or another. And so relationships and love is a big part of this book. And so is their romance. Obviously, they're fake dating in college, but I would not really say this is a romance in the typical sense, which I really enjoyed that sort of element and how it's more just an exploration of these characters' lives and how they are going through their college experience. I just really enjoyed that. So both of those books were on my TBR, and the next one that I read is one that I have read. I got the ebook from the library, and that is Kaiju number 8, volume 12. So I do not own this, so this one doesn't affect my numbers in any way, but I love the series so much, and this volume is definitely one of my favorites. I believe this one and volume 11 are my top volumes in the series so far, but this one I gave 5 stars. It was so amazing getting to see some of these characters' real thoughts and real intentions and their like true feelings on everything going on. I just really liked that sneak peek and how we get that sneak peek during all of these really amazing fighting scenes. I just thought that was really well done and well executed, and not exactly how I would say typical books talk about that stuff, but yeah, I was really impressed by this one and I really enjoyed it. And yes, I cannot wait for the next volume, and also for the anime. The anime is also really good and I've loved that. But yeah, I did read that and love it. So far, my favorite book of March. But March, this is the beginning of March. Well, not anymore, now it's the second week. But either way, the beginning of March did happen, and as with the beginning of the month and all of these vlogs, I talk about the books that I end up acquiring through Libro FM. So as always, Libro FM has this influencer review program where they give a selection of audiobooks and you can choose up to 10 that you want to read that month. And so I did choose a couple of them, definitely not as much as I usually do. I am trying to be much more selective in the books that I choose just because my audiobook TBR is so large. And I did have my membership paused, but that will be restarting in like the middle of March. So I will have some audiobook credits that I can also use. I will probably just save them for now, but either way, that is going to happen. I was also sent a book by an author who I'm a part of their ARC team, and then another I was sent by the publisher. So there are a few books that I got in, so let's talk about those. So the book I was sent by an author is Kraken, Cove, and again, I'm on their ARC team, and this one is an interesting one. I have really enjoyed this author's previous books. However, this one, I have not read this one yet, but I will say, and it's something that I've mentioned in my big ebooks clear out video, and that is that I'm not the biggest fan of books set in water or like monster romances with creatures from the water, and that's what this one is. So while I will be trying it, it is one that I'm sort of iffy about in general, just because it's not really my thing. Obviously, I'm going to give it its fair go, but I do just know that about myself, and I will be thinking about that going into it. But that is one that I got, so that does add a book to my ebooks TBR. And the next one that was sent to me by the publisher is Clam Down, and this is a nonfiction memoir. And the way the synopsis described it, it sort of seems like a very surreal, very hard-hitting memoir, and it really intrigued me, so I'm really excited to get to this one. But this also adds another book to my ebooks TBR. Now moving on to those Libro FM arcs, the first one that I had to of course get is Buffalo Hunter x Hunter, and that is because this book is on my 2025 most anticipated releases. I am so excited to give this one a try, so I did get this one. Hopefully I get to it very soon, but we shall see. Another one that was on that 2025 most anticipated releases list of mine was the Unworthy, so of course I also had to pick this one up. The next one that I got is I'm That Girl, which was going to be an arc that you could choose for February, but it got pushed back till March, so I did pick that one up, and it is a memoir, and that is one that I'm really excited to get to as well. Alright, and the last book that I got, only using 4 out of 10 of my available options. Very proud of myself for that one. But the last one that I got is The Colors of April, and this one is a collection of stories by Vietnamese authors, and it's all about the Vietnam War and its stories that are coming out of Vietnam, and I just think that is a really cool concept for an collection of stories or an anthology, and so I was very intrigued by this one and I decided to pick it up. So going into those numbers, the total books on my TBR is 259, and breaking that down by the format like always, I have my ebooks are sitting at 44, my audiobooks are sitting at 113, and my physical books are sitting at 102. So we are still down on everything from the beginning of the year, which is really exciting. However, I didn't make too much progress so far just because, again, it's the beginning of the month. It's where I acquire the most books. And I've also haven't really had the time to read. But yes, progress is still being made. I'm glad that all of these numbers are still down from the beginning of the year. That's what I want and hope out of this whole project. But yes. As for what I'm currently reading, I am currently reading 2 different ebooks, which is kind of wild. The one is from my library, but it's for a book club that I want to take part in this month, and that is Imperfect Victims. And then the other one is one that I believe I already told you that I was in the middle of reading, and that is Get It Out, which is one that I do own. So both of them are nonfiction books, but yeah, I'm really enjoying both of these, so it is going really good. But okay, that was a very long update, but I did just kind of have a little bit to talk about this update, which is kind of exciting. But yeah, I will at least have one more clip that will be the wrap up to this vlog, if not another update. But yes, that is it for this very long update, and I will see you in the next one. Hello, so as you can see, I redid my bookshelves, and I don't really have a reason why I decided to reorganize them. I was kind of just feeling in the mood to reorganize them, so I did. But I am here to close out this vlog, but first, I did go on another little day trip, this time to Jacksonville, and I did get a couple of books, 6 books to be exact. So I'm going to talk about those books first, and then I will talk about my stats for these 2 weeks, because this vlog was for 2 weeks. So yeah, first the books that I got. The first one is Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. I found this special edition. I haven't actually seen the normal edition of this book, so this might just be how this book looks. I'm not entirely sure, but it does have these very beautiful end pages, and I just think like the hardback itself is absolutely gorgeous. But yes, I really enjoyed the Ice Planet Barbarian series. Not all of the books in the series, but there were quite a few that I really loved in the series, and I do want to read more by this author. I have no clue what this book is about. I will say it was just a cover buy from how gorgeous it is, but I am very happy that I got this book because it was at a bookstore where it's like a new and used bookstore, and so their new books, there is a percentage off. I believe it's 10%. So I am glad that I found this copy for a much cheaper price. I also got King of Wrath because, as you saw in one of my other vlogs, I read The Striker by this author and I really enjoyed it. And I know that this is the author's more popular series, so I did want to give it a try. And again, this one is used, so I did get it at a much cheaper price, which I'm really happy of, especially because it's in such a good condition. but I'm really excited to give this one a try. So those two books are ones that I have not read yet, so they are adding books to my physical TBR. However, I then also got volumes 1 through 4 of Sweat and Soap, and I have already read these volumes, so they are just ones that I got because this is one of my favorite manga series. It's a really adorable romance series, and I have been looking for copies of these at used bookstores anytime that I go. So I'm glad that I found volumes 1 through 4. I feel like I have been looking for them for so long, and I'm really happy to finally own these. But yes, they are not adding any books to my TBR, luckily. Alright, so those are the 6 books that I got on my little trip. But now let's talk about my reading stats for this week. It was a bit of an interesting week in that, well, 2 weeks, in that I was at a new store. I was getting used to it. I thought that on my 30-minute commute I would be listening to an audiobook, but honestly, I never did, not once. So I didn't read as much, but I'm fine with that in the sense that I was in a new environment trying to get used to a new store. But with going back to my old store in like a week, it'll be near the end of next week's vlog that I will be going back to my old store, but I feel like then I can get back into the routine that I'm used to and will probably be able to read more than I have these 2 weeks. But yes, in these 2 weeks I only read 3 books, and that was Jane Eyre, Honey and Spice, and then volume 12 of Kaiju number 8. So two of them were really good books. Jane Eyre, I'm just finally glad to have off of my TBR because it's been on my TBR for so long. But let's talk about where my overall TBR is sitting at now with acquiring all these books and with not having read as many books. So my total is at 261. We are still under 300, which makes me very happy, but I do need to focus more on not buying books and instead reading the books that I own. I really need to put myself on a book buying ban. I know I bought books in January and then I didn't buy anything in February, and then now in March I have bought stuff. So hopefully next month I don't spend any money on books and I stop adding books to my TBR. But yes, my total number of books is at 261, and breaking that down as always by the format, my ebooks are at 44, my audiobooks are at 113, and my physical books are at 104. But that is it for this week's vlog, and I will see you all in the next vlog. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you feel like commenting, and I will see you then. Bye!